Welcome back, everyone, to Extinct Realm, our Prehistoric Kingdom series in the channel, and actually this is the first episode in which I'm doing a voiceover for this series, and it will be like that from now on. Okay, so first of all, here we are. I dug down like a kind of pit for the habitat, and I am lining this up with I'm like painting with the terrain paints, you know, to make like a kind of sketch of how I want the habitat to be, so that I can have like a sort of a clear view when it comes to building it. So yeah, basically. And actually this part I just painted that is like an some like semicircle, you know, that I intended for it to be like a restaurant, something, maybe a shop, but I ended up deleting. I don't know why. I didn't think it really fits, because you know, I wanted the guests to be focused on, you know, is it pronounced well, I don't know. But anyways, I wanted the guests to be focused on viewing the animals and not, you know, buying some souvenirs, because that's not the point, right, of entering the habitat. So you'll see now. Now it's time to start the temple, because this it's not named Colossus ruins for nothing, you know, for no reason, sorry. It's because there is, there are some ruins which are inspired by a temple from the, I believe, the Mayans. So is this kind of pyramid, which is, you know, you'll see now, but it's quite, you know, recognizable, because it's like layers, right, of that they keep getting smaller to the top. I'll show you the reference image. I'll be putting it in the screen right now. That's basically what I was, you know, trying to recreate, and well, you know, I'll decorate it later. But you know, this was this took me the whole habitat about 2 hours. But the pyramids, yeah, it was quite, you know, was quite difficult. Well, not difficult, but time consuming, like a lot, very, you know, repetitive, and it took me a long time to just do the pyramid and get everything right, you know, get the distances between the layers right. But in the end, I think I'm happy. I'm very happy with the result. But I'm going to skip forward, because you know, you don't want to see me build a whole pyramid, you know. So I'm going to skip forward. Now, about to finish the pyramid with the last, you know, the last floor, and there we go. Just putting in, yeah, like a floor, so we can start building the top of the pyramid, which has like this kind of room. I don't know what to call it, to be honest. Like this kind of cube, I guess. I don't know. It's just like where you can enter the pyramid after you know, you've gone up the stairs and everything. So I scaled down some walls and chose, you know, like a texture that matched, and that's basically what the top of the pyramid is. When I get to finish this, let's see when I do so, because as I said, this took kind of a long time, but it wasn't that difficult. I mean, but I think it, you know, it turned out pretty good. But yeah, basically a long time went into making this pyramid. And also adding some details here that we can see in the image, which are like this kind of, you know, top. I mean, I don't really know what to call them, right? But you can see what I mean. Like this kind of decoration that goes around the walls, and there it is. And now a roof. Oh, not a roof, but the stairs. Okay, so yeah. So these are the stairs, and I tried to line them up perfectly. And placing this at the angle it needed to be was kind of difficult at the start because I didn't know. Like you can see that it didn't really match that angle. But then again, if I if I turned it around more, they end up being really steep. But well, I don't know. I'm just doing it like that, and it's not like the dinosaurs need to climb up there, right? um, so all they did two staircases, and that's on purpose. There's not much like thinking or like reason or purpose. It's just like I thought, instead of doing like a symmetric one, like with all the sides, let's just do two. And yeah, that's basically what I did. Now painting or roughing the terrain too. Just doing the terrain work and placing like kind of a river, and you'll see now there's going to be some waterfalls that kind of start the river, right? And there's going to be like this lake or lagoon, or I don't know what you want to call it, but what is much deeper, so that I don't know if they want to swim or whatever they can. So just now painting the terrain, making sure it looks good, because that's very important. Make it look natural as possible, because these are animals and these need they need to for us to simulate their real environment as much as we can and as close as we can. And I actually made some research here for the Acrocanthosaurus, which I saw where like if it fitted in a jungle, and apparently it did, and I hope that information I got is right. Obviously grass didn't exist back then, and well, I believe when the Acrocanthosaurus lived, grass didn't exist, but might be wrong. I don't know. I'm pretty sure it didn't. So I tried to make it kind of realistic, but again, we are in a game, so I'm trying to have fun at the same time, because if we try to do this as realistic as possible, I don't know, it wouldn't look as good, and also it'd be really, really difficult to do like a very realistic thing here. So I mean, I'm trying to do something that looks good, in which the animals are happy in, and also having fun myself at the same time, but also kind of that makes sense, like realistic but not real, I guess would be my description. If that makes any sense. Here I'm making the waterfall. I don't know, I just really like making waterfalls. I don't like that much how waterfalls look in Prehistoric Kingdom, because they are all just like these individual water pieces, and I don't say it has to look like in Jurassic World Evolution 3, but I believe Planet Zoo, or Planet Zoo, you have like stripes of water rather than that. I guess there are dots of water. I don't know if that makes sense, but I hope you understand me. And I don't know, it doesn't look as real as it could be, or like as realistic. Here placing some bones of Rex, and also made it more yellow, so that it looks like it's been there for a long time now. And many bones here, or some bones in the rocks and everything, because these are apex predators, so they surely are good hunters. And now placing some human kind of props, baskets, or everything, because the story behind this, or kind of the story I made up, is that humans made this temple for these kind of gods, or Acrocanthosaurus were like there, because obviously they didn't coexist, but in a kind of a story that these dinosaurs, maybe I don't know, they survived, or they survived the extinction, and they were living maybe a secluded island or a forest, and past humans, right? Or they build this for that beast of the forest, or that god from the forest, that are the Acrocanthosaurus, and that's why they build the temple for them, right? So that's kind of the story behind it. And I'm now placing the Acrocanthosaurus to see its size, and I actually had to. I'm recording this for the second time because the speed build and the voiceover were very, like, were not coordinated or synced at all. So it was very confusing, and I originally planned for the guests to kind of watch the Acrocanthosaurus at like ground level, or Acrocanthosaurus ground level, because they are in like this pit, kind of dug down. But I eventually did an elevated walkway, which you are going to see right now. But I'm just placing some meat feeders and just things for the animals, really. So what was I was saying that you have to try, like, if you had a plan but then you have another idea during that plan, and you don't, or during building, and you don't want to kind of you want to go according to the plan, and then you don't test that idea, that's not, I wouldn't recommend that. I recommend that if you had another idea, you just go in and try that idea, okay? Because it might end up looking much better than you originally planned. And thus I'm happy that I tried the elevated walkway one. Now I'm decorating. I wanted to put a tree in. And now I'm decorating the pyramid, and I don't decorate it as much here, but later on, and I believe off camera, maybe I recorded it, but I believe it was off camera, I placed some more plants and climbers and everything, to make it look much more overgrown and old, and give the feeling that it's been here for a long time, which is what we intend with this story, what we try to we try to make it look like, right? Like it's very, very old. So with the elevated walkway now. For this, like here, what I did was make one kind of section of the walkway and then do the others, right? And I recommend you do that, these kind of things like that, because that's a very useful method. So you build one, and then you duplicate that one, and you kind of complete like the whole structure. And you'll see now, if you don't understand what I'm saying, you'll see now. So I'm putting these ropes in so that to make it look better than that those are joined by that. And then, well, it was very very short, so I had to make it taller. So I'm just here adjusting the height, and also placing, I couldn't get that rope, I don't know why I couldn't select it. So placing more ropes between the two poles of wood. And now, after I saved it as a blueprint, I believe that's going to happen right now. So now the height was correct, and I saved it as a blueprint pretty quickly, or maybe not as quickly as I thought. Right now. So that is. Now, time to put in those the walkway, and there are gaps which you shouldn't be very concerned about, because those gaps then can be filled. So if you do something like this, you have to keep in mind that obviously not everything is going to line up or kind of fits as perfectly as you want it, but then you can yes, you're seeing here, you can fill those gaps up fill up, yeah, fill up those gaps, and just make it look complete, and ensure that your guests don't fall into the pit. But yeah, there it is. Just gut feeling, which isn't very interesting, but it's the kind of things you have to do, right, to make something look good and make it look complete. And it is worth it, because at the end you end up with something really, really cool. And I'm very happy about it. I know I've said that a couple times, but it is true. So and now with the fences, and this I'm going to skip because this was a very time consuming kind of process. Like, it really, really was time consuming. So I'm going to right now just going to let you see what fences we are choosing, or there it is. So I'm placing those fences, and now I'm going to skip forward to when I'm about to finish. Now that I finished that kind of side of the walkway, I'm duplicating that and duplicating that to the other side, as you can see now. There it is. And trying to make it fit better, but in the end what I did was something I'm much more happier about, which is make it kind of a cliff, which made much more sense than being like surrounded by just terrain, because the whole habitat is lined by it's lined by a cliff, or surrounded by a cliff. So it made so much more sense that also that part of the pit was as well surrounded by a cliff. And now I'm going to put in another waterfall and some screens, which I love of this game, that you can have those screens that educate the guests about dinosaurs and about our animals here, and some shade, of course, and so that not all the walkway is kind of roofed, but some of them, so that you can have some shade if you need to. And also, of course, some benches and bins, because those are essential so that people don't litter and don't throw their trash into the animal's enclosure, or there are the bins into the animal enclosure or to the paths. But we are now very close to finishing, so if you like this video and this content, consider leaving a like, maybe subscribing. So I hope I'll see you in the next one, and I'll leave you now with some cinematic shots as always. So bye bye.